Okay, so I'm live. 43 seconds in. If I reset that, hopefully I can get the link. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. All right, now we're just linking it out right now. This will be part of the editing process, I suppose. But heck, I'm not going to edit nothing. I'm Justin. I don't do nothing. All right. And posted. All right. So we're live. We're live here. So I'm going live because of why not? Let's see how many people show up. Uh, when the first person shows up, I'll start talking. Give my spiel, I suppose. It'll be fun. So I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Decided to do this on Thursdays because normally my daughter has swimming on Thursdays, but that was canceled tonight. So now everybody's home still. But that happens. Um, I'm not sure how to check chat. I guess what I have to do is I have to bring it up my phone. People say that this is what they do. So I guess I'll try that. Um, but just kind of let me know. Or I guess you open up the other your actual YouTube page channel and you just mute it. I suppose. Channel and you just mute it. See here. There you go. I guess that does work. There you go. Now that I see two of me, that's kind of crazy. But there you go. So at least I can see chat. So if anybody does show up, I'll see them pop up. I'm not sure what the delay is on these things, but so there you go. So let's set up now. So let's see. Like I said, just kind of a thrown together thing here. Figure I just I'll do something like that. So you think I'm also trying to get a guest on tonight's show. I suppose to see if he can kind of figure out how to do it, but I don't know if he will or not. So we're about 3 minutes in. So, but anyhow, so I'll just kind of go on here. I wonder what the delay is. I wonder if anybody was actually paying attention. I don't think I got any questions today, so that's going to make it real short. If no one's got any questions, no, I didn't get one question. Oh, the sadness. So, but we still have time. I'm going to probably go for about an hour or half an hour, so depends on what anybody feels like doing. So, but it just kind of, like I said, just kind of off the cuff tonight. Just not doing anything real planned, but I probably will do something planned once I get to about 5:30, which is about in a minute. And so, I see I have one viewer there. That's awesome, but I can't. I'll have to reopen the chat to see the one viewer. No, that's not it. Oh, maybe that one viewer is me. That's funny. I'll give myself a like. No, you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, um, so I'm just kind of hanging out here. So, okay, we're gonna get started in about 30 seconds, and I'll just that way if no one shows up or anybody couldn't show up, that's fine. That way you'll at least have some kind of video to post. They'll have a whole good probably 7 minutes of ramble. Oh, we're only at 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes of rambling, so it's not so bad. Rambling is not such a bad thing, I wouldn't think. So, all right. It is 5:30. So, let's see here. Let's want to do one more last check before I totally get started. So, anyway, so if anybody wants to join me, once again, this is here we go. All right, so So this is Dagon's Thursday night stream, doing just kind of some sergeant's time day and some safety brief because we all know you don't want to do it on Fridays. So here we go. So we're gonna do our safety brief. So if you're going out swimming if you go out swimming, make sure you swim with a buddy. If you're going out drinking, make sure you have a driver. And if you are a driver, you drive. And that's all you do. Make sure because that's it. It's important for you guys to come home. If you get in trouble somewhere, make sure you give out a call. Call out. You got to think to yourself, would would your sergeant do it? And if your sergeant would do it, still think, should you do it? If you get in a tight bunch, make sure you call the CQ desk. And if you do call the CQ desk, they come get you. Make sure you buy those guys something to eat. So that pretty much does a safety briefing. Once again, if I had any viewers out there, I would ask for questions, but we don't seem to have any. But so we'll go with a kind of a. I'm kind of talking fast, but that's all right. So we'll just kind of go. I'll do a little sergeant's time here, and then let me grab something real quick. I'll just kind of talk about it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk about, but hey, that's what you do. Oh, there's my boy. I see. I see Cujo made it to the stream tonight. I'm glad. One of the great part of one of the GI Joe Berg, of course. He does his own stuff too. You should hook him up. He's a pretty nice guy. Some of his streams are kind of off the wall and funny, but it's interesting that you talk to really nice, gets to know different types of people. When he's talked to some professional doctors before that are professors of literature and whatnot, and they're pretty cool guys. I'd like to pick the brain on some of the things one of these days. And not that I'm a intellectual person myself, but I always like to ask questions of people. So like I said, we're gonna do some sergeant's time in here. Once again, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and just throw them out there. Don't be afraid to snipe my stream. I don't mind. So so here we go. So one of the things that I was going to talk about today is kind of related to GI Joe in the fact that I'm going to talk about parachutes. So there's different types of paratroopers out there, right? I think a lot of you probably mostly know this, of course, but some of you don't. So let me kind of might help clear some things up. So there's two types of paratroopers. There's a static line paratrooper, and then there's the halo jumper. So I wish I had my real life parachute. I think some of you've seen the pictures of it. I'll post it after the show so you guys can see it. But I have it at work, and that maybe I'll do one of these nights. I'll bring it home and do a show with it. But anyway, there's a static line parachute, and there's the halo jumpers, right? Halo jumpers have the oxygen high altitude jumpers. So that's essentially what it stands for. So your static line jumpers are going to be, your 82nd Airborne. Used to be the 101st, but the 101st is more of a is more the helicopter air assault now rather than airborne. Air assault is where you propel out of the helicopters rather than parachute, but that's a totally different bird. Yeah, you get it, bird, because they're all actually two different types of planes you use. But yeah, you can static line jump out of helicopter, and you can probably halo jump out of a helicopter well. But I don't know if the helicopters go up that high enough. But anyway, I digress. So a static line is hooked up to the parachute, and what the static line does, and then you hook the static line to a cable, and as you go out the door, the static line pulls the parachute out of the parachute pack. Once again, if I had my parachute out, I don't think I would unpack it, of course, but you can get a better visual idea of how that works. So like I said, you jump out 4 seconds later, your chute opens up, and then you kind of float on down. That's static line jumping. Halo jumping, once again, that's high altitude jumping. That's when you're jumping out of wherever bird you're going out of, and then you're actually pulling your own ripcord, and you have altimeters and things of that nature. Now, when you're a static line jumper, you don't pack your own chute. That's what a rigger job is for. I used to know a lot of riggers. Like if you caught my stream with Cujo, I used to know a lot of riggers back in the day. So the riggers would pack all the chutes, and they would pack other bigger chutes for equipment as well. If you check out one of my good friends Joe Motion 82's videos, I did his Crazy Leg episode. I lay all this kind of topic out for you as well, which is a little bit more detailed than I had written out. This is kind of off the cuff kind of conversation. So once again, we go back to a static line jumper. So static line jump, you don't pack your own chutes. You're going to Fort Benning jump school for about 3 weeks or so. It's a real easy school as long as you're getting 80s and all your PT scores. That's the run, push-ups, and the sit-ups. It's probably changed now because it's changed the PT score, but as long as you were able to do that and you were able to do, I think it was like 20 pull-ups or something like that. I don't have to remember. I have to look, and then you pass and you go on what they call an airborne shuffle run. That's pretty much where you're just kind of shuffling along. It's a long distance run. And you stay in formation, and as long as you make those runs and things of that nature, you're good to go. And you go through jump school. And like I said, it's about 3 weeks. The first week is ground week. We're just kind of learning how to fall and you're running around everywhere. The second week is you start off with a small tower, and then if the winds are good, you'll go up to the big tower that you see. You can kind of drop, and that's pretty cool. We actually were able to do that because it wasn't windy. I went to airborne school in late August, in late July into August is when I went. So the winds weren't so high in Georgia at the time, so we actually got to go off the tower. And then the last week, jump week, is jump week. And you have to do 5 jumps essentially, and you do a night jump. You do a night jump with combat gear. You do a combat jump, and then you do a regular Hollywood jump in the middle of the day, and then I think you do 2 Hollywoods. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then I think you do 2 Hollywoods, and then you're done. And you're jump qualified. That's when you earn your wings. Now you can be jump qualified, but not airborne. And airborne, I consider, is someone who actually went to an airborne unit and they jump regularly on jump status. So to stay on jump status, you have to jump once every 3 months, and you're netting about $150 a month. So jump once every 3 months, that's not so bad. So that's static line jump. It's fun. It's great. Anybody can really do it, just as long as you're in pretty good shape. I believe in yourself, you're going to get through it. Halo is different. I didn't go through Halo at all. I don't know that much about it. I just know about it a little bit because talking to the riggers about it, and they would pack their chutes. And riggers actually go through these things and get certified on different types of parachutes and stuff. It's pretty cool. So that's kind of a little thing about parachutes and whatnot. So once again, I'll just kind of take a breath here, take a breath here because I do tend to talk fast. So I'll take a break here and kind of check chat to see if anybody else kind of showed up or not. But it doesn't look like anybody has. But that's all right. I don't mind. It's only your first show, so you don't have much big expectations. Most of this is actually kind of me doing. I just kind of felt like I wanted to put my own spin on things. There's a lot of great creators out there that produce a lot of great videos and stuff. And I just kind of wanted to put my own common man spin on it. I have a little bit of that military background, which is kind of fun. I kind of set my feet into both worlds there too. I'll talk about that in a minute. But once again, I have a common man background where a lot of guys are coming at this not from a military standpoint of what the toys mean to them, where I kind of do, and I don't mean that in a critical way. It's just whenever I see a figure, I'm like, oh, that Sergeant Airborne. To me, Sergeant Airborne should more be Sergeant Air Assault because he's more of a helicopter pilot. But that's just kind of a nitpick, I guess. But I digress. Let's see if I have some. It looks like I have some awesome, crazy folks in the chat here. So thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. And let's see what we have in common here. So what? Have 3 different. Oh, that's right. Okay. So your free fall is different than static. One of my great friends from Twitter asked a question. He's in the Norwegian military. So I don't. You have 3. I see. I guess our Halo and our free fall are the same with oxygen. So I think they can free fall without oxygen, but it's still kind of the same school. So it might every military is gonna be a little bit. So, so I see the captain's here. So, hi, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. I'm glad I have at least three viewers coming up to my chat. Like I said, once again, I did my spiel about airborne and did my safety brief. If you missed it, you better go back and watch that because those are important words. Because we all need you back. Like I said, I'm really truthful about that on the on Cujo's stream. That goes for more than just military folks too. More than just military and civilians too. It doesn't. You don't have to be a vet for those words to, hopefully land with you. Because because people don't realize the impact they have on others' lives. I think sometimes when they're going to those dark places, and I think if you just have that one person who kind of reaches out to you, maybe you're having a bad day, and you reach out to that person, hey, you're doing all right. How you doing? Maybe that'll brighten them up a little bit. So that's why that kind of stuff is important to me. So the oh, G.I. Gary, he switched usernames. That's nice. So it makes it look like I have a little bit more views than I do, which is awesome. But anyhow, like I said, do you guys have any questions for me and any general stuff you guys want to ask? Like I said, Cujo's in the house. One of my great friends and supporters. Hopefully the Black Book 2 will come out. I proudly display mine with all my Cobra kind of stealthy guys. So that's why that's up there. But like I say, if you guys have any questions, let me know if there's any topics you guys want me to talk about or go into. Like I said, this is kind of off the cuff time. It's the kind of sergeant's times when you got all your Joes together after the end of a work day and you're going to release them for the weekend, a long weekend, or whatever. You just kind of spend that time with them, kind of reinforce where they're at and stuff. So it was a good time. So, like I said, I'm not going to go too long tonight. Like I said, oh, where's Crazy Legs? Oh, well, I have a whole shelf of Crazy Legs, so you don't even understand. Um, I'm eyeballing a Crazy Legs plastic cup from 1987 that has Crazy Legs. I guess they made these little 8-ounce plastic cups, are about yay big, and they had different characters on them. The two that I've seen so far have been Crazy Legs and Outback. I would think that someone would want to scoop that up. I'm thinking about if I had more money, I would definitely pick that up for my boy Outback Stew. He has a YouTube channel on here. He does more of the not I wouldn't say play motion like the G.I. Joe boys do with because they don't really do that, but he does this more stop motion with his guys. He does some play motion with them too, but he's pretty funny stuff. He has a kind of off the humor. If you get it, it's funny. So I once again, it's just Outback Stew. He's on YouTube. I don't think he's on Twitter at all, but you can find him on there. I found him through Cobra Law, which is another great channel that if you guys like stop motion stuff, he does a lot of. He's done a lot of G.I. Joe, and he's done a lot of He-Man and wrestling stuff too. That's a great one. And then of course on Cujo's show last week, Dustin. Oh my gosh, you should see some of his stuff. His one with the tripwire and the line and the mines and stuff, and then the Outback comes in the end of it. That's some great stuff. That's classic. You guys got to watch that. And he also did a lot of great stuff with ninja stuff for a while with a storyline with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, and which was really good too. And he's one of the first one that used using the motion and where you can superimpose talking over the characters. So he was one of the first ones I seen do that, which was really, really awesome. If you got once again, you guys got to get hooked up into. I know I don't mean to plug them as much as I am, but the G.I. Joe Berg. I mean, you go there, you're gonna get hooked. You're gonna get hooked into the community. There's a lot you can go down that rabbit hole and get lost. And of course, once again, this is all predicated because I always call them commanders. Hooded Cobra Commander 788. He's a warrior. He's been there. He's like grandfather day of YouTube for us. There's a lot of great shows out there. I found a lot of great friends just through his channel and just talking with folks. So, another person I'll shout out real quick is that Ben Viper is really awesome too. He's on Twitter. I don't think he doesn't make anything, but he's a really great guy. And then Kerouac on Twitter is awesome too. He does a lot of artsy stuff, a lot of drawing, a lot of comics. That was really great. He actually co-does a show with Mask, but I'm forgetting his co-host's name. I apologize if I forget his name. They do if you want to learn about Mask, you gotta get tuned into that show. That's fun. I never got into Mask much as a kid, but it's like Transformers meshed with G.I. Joe a little bit. That's my understanding of it. So it's pretty cool. Once again, does anybody else have any questions from the chat? Like I said, I want that's the one thing I noticed on a lot of the shows, especially a lot of the podcast shows. God bless them, they have so much stuff to get through, but the interaction with chat isn't there as much, and it's probably hard too because obviously their audience is bigger. Obviously when you're getting 50, 60, 70, 100 people in a stream, obviously you're not going to stay up with it. I've learned that through watching a lot of Twitch, a lot of live streams. Watch a lot of live streaming through Twitch. Heck, I remember when, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but I remember when Twitch was Justin TV. And they mirrored together. That's back when Justin TV had a lot of crazy stuff on there. I remember watching the Angry Video Game Nerd for the first time on Justin TV, because it just played in in a loop, which is kind of interesting. So. Like I said, I'm just kind of off the top and whatever's going off in my head. So popping off of that. If I get some more questions in the chat, that sure would help. But if I don't, that's fine. I can ramble on. I'm gonna keep to about 30 minutes. So I'm about 20 now. So about fill up 10 more minutes. So I can show you guys something. I know it's past Thanksgiving, but I think you guys might find this really cool. Let me go to my my stash on my shelf here and find something interesting for everybody to look at real quick. Let's see here. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, it's not there. Oh, here it is. Oh, I found it. So I don't know. I know that because I'm cheap like everybody else, so I'm just using my computer's webcam here. But I don't know if you guys can see this very well or not. Let's see if it shows up. So this is right here, as you can see that it's dated, and it is dated 1945. Yeah, 1943. Excuse me. I'm chincing myself by 2 years. Well, this right here, this is a fold in half Thanksgiving menu kind of thing from a military base called Camp Adair, and this is in 1943. Camp Adair was a quick military base that was set up so they can train soldiers and stuff for World War II. Most of the soldiers, they come from all over the place, and they were getting being sent to wherever. So it's kind of interesting because, as me being a cook, I've cooked these kind of Thanksgiving dinners before. Not when I was in Afghanistan so much, but when I was back in Garrison. So once again. Here's kind of the inside page here. You can kind of take a click read if you want, and here's the menu itself, which is kind of interesting. And then of course on the back they have a picture of the. It's showing up for everything's backward. This is the dining facility that they would have cooked the food out of it. It's really cool. I think it's kind of charming that you have the crease in the middle, because it kind of shows like whoever had it, they've kind of snagged in the pocket. So that's kind of that. So I thought I'd share that real quick. It looks like we have some more stuff going on in the chat here. Keep those comments going, even if they're not to me. Side chatter is just fine. Where is this? Here we go. Oh, what is on Joe? Mine is in the house. Thanks to those guys. That's a great show too. I found them through Hooded Cobra Commander 788. They were doing a charity drive last year. It was for food and hunger, I believe, and they were doing like, I don't know, it was awesome, and I ended up giving to the charity drive because of them, and then I found that I kept on listening to them. They're great folks. They there's Joe Colton on there, and there's Mark Weber, and then everybody else on there. It's awesome. They're really great guys. So I would definitely check it out. They're on Fridays, which is a really good time slot. But sometimes I'm eating dinner, so I can always catch the beginning. So they're here. And then what card do? Oh, all right. Take it easy, man. My Norwegian brother here. He's in the military service. He's a really great guy too. Like I said, you'll find him on Twitter. He's a great guy. So anyway, like I said, anything else in the chat before I quickly move on topic, because I talk way too fast, that's what you do if you're a guy like me. That's right. Oh, I'll show this off. This is gonna be revealed on Saturday. Timmer's Christmas drive for Hank. I decided to give a prize away this year because I was like, well, this is it was a great cause. He made $1,800 last year, which is quite a bit, and he's made more money this year. So I'll show you the prize someone's gonna get. So someone's gonna get a package from me, some out there, if you did give. So let me show that off real quick. So right here, As you can see, hopefully you don't see too much glare. It's bigger than my head. This is the Cobra Hiss 3 tank with a special driver rivet. So that's gonna be awesome. So whoever is gonna get this is it's gonna be awesome because they gave to the cherry drive, and that was the most important part, is helping those kids out. And Timber does it every year, and it's the easiest drive to do. All you gotta do is prove that you gave, and then send them an email. There's no money exchanging involved. That's a great way to motivate people to give. Also, Joe Motion 82 is giving out prizes too. He's giving out 2 classified figure and a his tank. Man, you guys should have got on. If you guys didn't get on this, you better get on this next year. Let me tell you what. So, well, there's that. I have about 5 or 6 more minutes left. Then I got to eat dinner, and I surely believe my wife is home, and she's probably would wonder what this crazy person's doing up here. So, um, all right. GI Gary's got us taking off. Take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody in the chat coming by. Like I said, this is a small growing thing. I'm gonna kind of do it every once in a while when I can. I'll let you guys know. I'll announce it, of course. Let's see here. What else should I? What else? Let's see what else you guys? All right, we'll do a real quick poll. Whoever is left in the chat was that the 3 folks who left. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a Joe figure or more history stuff? Give me a 1 for history stuff and 2 for a Joe figure. All right, I'll give you a couple minutes. Once again, I don't know what the delay is like, so we'll go. Oh, there it is. I can see the delay on watching myself. I need it. As you can see, I got a haircut too, so which is awful nice. All right. All right, so it doesn't look like. Oh, here we go. Whatever's easiest. Joe, well, come on. Whatever's easy. Hey, baby, I sell anything. Anything is easiest for me. No, really. What do you guys want? You want history or do you want Joe? All right. Well, I guess I'll go. Well, I showed one history thing, and I guess this is if it's Joe related. I need to show another Joe thing, which I did show. I showed a Cobra thing. I guess that doesn't count. All right, here we go. Who do I want to choose? Oh, we talked about him already. I will talk about. I should get this little figure off. All right. Wow, that's not what you. We got to vote for history. You were supposed to have left, so I don't know. I don't know if I should discount that or not. Okay, you want history? All right. Well, I'll show you the figure. Then well, we'll go a little longer. I'll show you a figure and then I'll do a history real quick. All right. So this, let's see this right here. Let's see if I can get it on the camera a little bit better. Let me switch ones because there we go. So this is the 2000 Dusty right here. I put 2 guns in his hand because I have 2 of them. This is released in 2000 Dusty. As you can tell, the 2000s figures, their plastic is different. You can tell they went with a different kind of like plastic makeup. But I like this figure a lot. It isn't. When I look at this figure, I don't know about you guys, but I look at this figure, I don't see Dusty. I see a different figure. To me, obviously, it's going to be an airborne figure because the red beret. But I would think he's more of a support guy. So if I've got 2 of these, and I'm thinking about seeing if one of my custom friends would like to do a custom of him for me. I like to put him in a desert uniform, that would be something I would look forward to doing. So that's kind of Dusty 2000. This is one of those figures you don't think about very much, but I think it's an excellent figure. Too bad the American flag is pointing the wrong way. I don't know why G.I. Joe does that. I don't know if it's a copyright reason or they're just silly. So it's a pretty good figure. So that's Dusty 2000. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to do some more history. So let me find something that might be interesting for history. Here we go. What do we want? Okay. All right. I think you guys are gonna like this. I do. Let me see if I can show this off without showing all my personal identification. Phone number. we go. All right. So what we have here, this is a part of recent history. Um, if everybody's interesting, I know. So no, history is anything that's considered anything of yesterday, but this is kind of some part of recent history. So this right here, let me cover this part up right here. Yeah, you can go. Let's see if you guys can see that. So what this is, and this is going to be the top of it. This is an Afghanistan personal security badge. What this badge did, what this badge would let me get onto Bagram Airfield and get different Afghanis into the country, different Afghanis onto the base to do two different things. So and so that I would bring trucks in every day. So the first 6 months part of my deployment, I spent running what they call Class 1, which is food supplies, anything you would use to feed people. And so my job was to order the different food for the different like 13 fire bases that we had, and then I would go order my trucks from the local contractors. Say, hey, I need 5 or 6 trucks, and then I would order the food for the Class 1 yard, water for the Class 1 yard, and then you'll go out every morning, get my trucks. The contractor would be out there. Your trucks would be assigned to you. I would pay like a dollar to one of the local Afghani kids to talk to the drivers that were assigned to me to park a certain place. So I got them all ready to go to bring them in all at the same time, because I could do 5 trucks. That means I could do 5 Afghanis too. So I could do up to 10 if they had a co-driver. A lot of them didn't though, and so they would come through, and then they would go through X-ray. The X-ray machine would make sure there wasn't any bombs at them. Then they would have them get out, and then a bomb sniffing dog would sniff around the truck with a mirror, make sure there was nothing there, and then the Afghani would get patted down at that point. The whole patting everybody down, make sure they didn't have any weapons on them or anything of that nature. Then I'd take them across 1 yard, load them up with food, and then take them out. Now the trick was to always be out there really early so you can get the job done real quick. But I found it better to trade and do some horse dealing to make sure that I was always the first one to be able to get my trucks out of there. And so what I did, I knew the supply sergeant like steaks and different food items. So I traded a whole bunch of steaks and stuff for some like bench made knives that are about yay big, just little, like a boot knife essentially. And then I traded that to the gate guards to always let my trucks come in so I can get off as soon as I could. And so and then after I do that the daily brief the daily duty, I would give a daily brief of what was going on with Class 1. I did that for the first 6 months of my tour, and then after that, I went to Germany for about 2 weeks to resupply there, and that was fun. And then which I'll tell you a story about that some other time. And then I also then I went out to that fire base. All those guys I was talking to you about on Cujo's stream, all those guys are the guys I served with out in the fire base out in the middle of nowhere. They were all Green Beret team guys, operators, I guess as some people call them. They were really great people, though. So that's kind of a history. That's a little bit more history of me and a little Afghanistan badge. I also got a flight line badge as well. So that allowed me on the flight line. So that was awesome. Oh, I see David Cable is here. He's an awesome guy too. I talk to him on Twitter all the time. He's a great guy. You should check him out. I believe he does his own podcast as well. I don't catch it as much as I probably should, but what are you gonna do? There's only got so much time in the world. So that's pretty much what I got. Do we have any more questions from the crowd here? Yeah. You're right. Being street smart was nice. Was smart. One of the other things too, you got to know, especially when you got out in the middle of nowhere, was it like there was lawlessness. I mean, it wasn't lawlessness, but everything was ran by its own chieftain and their own like tribal leader kind of thing, their town elders and leaders and stuff. And so you had to take whatever was going on with a grain of salt. It just kind of was what it was. And so just like anybody else, the Afghans were trying to survive as best they could, no matter what kind of regime was over them, either the Americans trying to help them and monetize them, or the Taliban trying to take them over. So it was just It's just it is what it was. So yeah, but you're right. Being street smart and knowing what to look out for and be able to study people. Yeah, I found it valuable. To tell not so funny story. I guess it's kind of funny. I was out there and I got to carry a sidearm on me because they didn't want me to carry a long arm on me because I drove an ATV out there, get my trucks and stuff. It was fun, and I drove an ATV out there, so I got to carry a 45 on me. And I was out there getting my trucks, and one of the kids was out there, and the kid reached to get my gun. I slapped his hand away because you have to do that. The kid reached down to touch my weapon. I was like, no. At that point, I mean, it wasn't. I didn't like do anything. I would do the same thing to my child. If my child tried, if I had a weapon on me, and my child tried to touch my weapon, I would hit their hand away and make sure that they understand that's it's not playtime. So that was kind of that really sticks in my one of the things that stick out in my mind. Another one was I have it at work. The little girl was selling trinkets, and there's this little green heart one I bought from her, real cheap, obviously, but it was just kind of one of those things that you kind of cherish what you bring that back with you. So that pretty much does it. We're about 6 o'clock. I wasn't going to, like I said, I wasn't going to go very long tonight, but if anybody else has any closing questions, I'll take those now. I know everybody does like, what they got in the mail kind of drop. I'll have some more tweets coming out with lots of stuff I'm getting lately. Because I have a late birthday. So when you have a late birthday and you get stuff on eBay, you kind of draw it out for a while. I have some awesome stuff coming in. I think they're awesome. It's nothing too expensive and nothing too, world stopping, but it's enjoyable. So you guys might see that next week. So that's pretty much it. Like one more last time for questions before I go. 1, 2, 3. And that there's there we go. There's something. Here we go. Well, major part popular recipes I made over there. Well, what you have to understand, I didn't cook for the first 6 months, so and all the meals that you order out there, they're kind of set. They always had steak and lobster you could order, and then they had different types of chicken and different kind of ground beef and things of that nature. A lot of it was boil and bag meals where it was all kind of pre-made, and it wasn't like dry frozen, but was frozen, and all you had to pretty much do was boil it in a bag. There's a lot of that going on. I tried not to make that so much because you knew what you were getting was boiled in a bag. I mean, who wants to always eat something boiled in a bag? So I think the more popular things for the short time I spent at the fire base was when I barbecued a lot because obviously that's all I had. But I would do to help it was, I don't know if you guys would try this at home. You boil it first. You boil it and get it nice and cooked first, and then you kind of finish it on the grill, and then you kind of use whatever kind of spices and things that you have available to you to finish it off. Like I said, I remember trying to make spaghetti sauce out of just like tomato paste. I had tomato paste and some sugar packets, and I was just like, okay, well let's make this happen. So I mean, it's just kind of what you came up with. But that's my boy Christian. He's also on Twitter. All you guys are on Twitter, which is great. That's where I mostly hang out. But he's on Twitter. He does a lot of art and stuff, and does a lot of great work and stuff. So usually always check him out as well. So I think that's gonna probably end it tonight. Once again, like I always say, we always need you back. So take care of yourselves out there. Personal care is always important care. I know you can always make kind of fun of that term, but it is important to make sure you're taking care of yourself and others out there, and stay safe. And if you can't, at least keep careful. I always make what's on Joe Biden say that. So that's my tagline. So like I said, I'll end it tonight. We'll catch you next time. And yo, Joe.